So well, I was there a second ago. I don't know, my Facebook has been acting up all day. I don't know about y'all, but it's been kind of acting up. Hey, Kara. Hi, Mimi. Hey, Virginia. Hey, Mama. So I had some people that wanted to see me paint Frankenstein. So I'm not a painter. I try, but I'm just not really blessed in that way. But I thought I would give it a try. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Amy. Thought I would give it a try and show you. So this was just a foam head that I got from Hobby Lobby. I think it was like $8, and I got it when it was 30% off. So pretty inexpensive, really. And then all I did was I took some spackle and I built up his eyebrow, like this brow section here, and I widened his nose a bit. Can you see that I widened his nose? I widened the jaw, and then I added some wooden dowels here on the side. I just got dowels from Hobby Lobby and then cut them about 1.5 inches, stuck them in a little bit, and then I also put spackle around that to kind of look like the skin had grown out and around it, was the effect I'm going for. So we'll see how that goes. And I left everything pretty gruff on here because I wanted it to look kind of skin grafty and stuff. I did take a paintbrush end, and I added some indentations where I wanted you know, some wrinkles, and so I just kind of added them. I just pushed into the spackle that I put on there, and just in a few places. So yeah, well, let's start painting, shall we? I'll move this over and I'll show you everything I'm using. So let me pan down here and we'll zoom in on our guy instead of me. All right, how's that? So I have these acrylic colors. Oh, and I should tell you that last night I painted him with, oh, Lisa, thank you. I don't consider myself a painter, but last night after I did a little more spackling on him, I did covered him in glue, and I just used this Elmer's glue, you know, that kids get for school or whatever. So that's what I covered him in to get a little bit smooth finish on there. So I do have the big bottles of Elmer's glue, clear and the white, because I have a granddaughter that likes to make slime. So, but anyway. So I'm using this Americana Deco Art acrylic paint, and I just got this at Hobby Lobby, and this one is called Hauser Medium Green. So, and all I'm going to do is squirt this out. Just going to use my big paintbrush here. Now there's a hole. Hi, Lori. There's a hole in the bottom here, so I just kind of hold on to the hole and then start lathering in the paint. I hope this will be a good color for Frankenstein. We'll have to see here. And it really drinks, I will say it really sucks up the paint. You might have to do like a couple of coats. But, so we will just paint. I hope everybody's enjoying their day. It finally cooled off here in northern Colorado where I am, so that was nice. I don't have the air conditioning on today. It's just nice outside. Oh, hi, Annie. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do like to create things and use that side of my brain. Keeps the other part of my brain from being able to infiltrate. So, hi, Melissa. And you go through quite a bit of this paint. Hi, Melissa. Thank you. Hey, Becky. Welcome. So we are just painting Frankenstein here that I had added quite a bit of spackle to build up his face a little bit. And I left that spackle pretty raw. I didn't smooth it out because I wanted it to look like yucky stretched skin that was kind of, you know, stretched over him and stuff. So, and this green is just in an acrylic green. Oh, Lori, is it hot in Florida? I can just imagine. You know, I've got a brother that lives in Florida, and I'm always jealous of him in the winter, but boy, I don't think I could handle y'all's humidity. Oh, oh, Kara. Oh, you're in Texas, aren't you, Kara? Wait a minute, Kara, are you in Texas or is Michelle in Texas? Who's in Texas? But no, you people down south, it's got to be just grueling down there. Ugh. I don't like it when it's too hot, and I don't like it when it's too cold. Told my husband I'd love to go south in the winter and north in the summer. That's like my dream, you know. We are going to go through a lot. West Texas. Yeah, very hot out there, man. Oh, Mom, is it raining in Nebraska? We had some pretty good winds last night. I went outside and there's a whole bunch of stuff blown all over. The turkeys had a bunch of stuff blowing all over and they were real happy to see me this morning, so it must have got a little rough last night. We've got about 14 turkeys, y'all. And they're so sweet. I don't know if anybody's ever raised turkeys, but domestic turkeys they're so sweet, and they make you feel real bad in the fall for harvesting them, because they just come running up to me when I go outside, you know, and they don't like you to touch them, but they'll come run right up to you and get real close to you and stuff, and they're just a bunch of sweethearts. Oh, Louisiana. Oh, hot and humid. What's your humidity like index? We get to like 30 here in Colorado, and we're dying, but you know, down there I bet you guys are just... I go to Nebraska, let's see, eastern Nebraska to visit my mom and stuff, and I always kid when I go there in the summertime, you know, I get in the shower, get out of the shower, and I'm not dry until I leave and get back to Colorado. Oh, yeah. All right. So, we've got one coat on him. And what you'll want to do is you will want to, let me see if I can make that smaller. Okay. You will want to like do like a second coat, you know, to get these light spots in here, to kind of get your base coat so it's like solid, like one solid color. But I did paint the other one, And I've decided on Friday night when I do my live, I am going to give away one of these Frankensteins that I'm working on. So maybe that'll be fun if everybody can pop in on Friday evening at 5 p.m. and then we'll give away one of these Frankensteins. So he's all wet, and I painted another one here. So we're going to set him aside, or I base coated the other Frankenstein that I've got. So let me reach over here. So this is a few coats. I probably could have done a couple of more coats here on the back, but I'm not worried about the back because that'll be in a wreath most likely. And then all I did was take some black and kind of sink in his eyes a little bit, and then I put in the crease of the mouth here. And that was just black, and that was just acrylic black of the Anita's Craft paint. So that's all I did there. So I'm just thinking, and all I did this morning was I looked up some pictures on Pinterest of like painted Frankensteins and was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to kind of go in this direction with how I want him to look. Now I used to paint like ceramics a lot. And with my ceramics, oh, thank you, Kara, for sharing. Thanks. I always forget to ask. If you wouldn't mind sharing and liking, that would be awesome. But from when I used to do like ceramics and stuff, I used to do a lot of dry brush painting. I don't know if you guys know what dry brush painting is, but if you take a paint, so this is our paint color that we had here. So I definitely don't want the shiny one. This one is a little like limier. So I want to mix just take a little bit. It's actually not that light. So I'm going to take some of this Craft Essential. You know, I just collect paints and stuff over years, so I've got all these different kinds and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of mix up like some paint that's like a little bit lighter than his skin tone. Yeah, that kind of works. So let me show you. So I just kind of mixed up a little bit lighter bit right there. And I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, I didn't like practice this ahead of time or anything. So when you dry brush, the idea is you just get a little bit on your brush. And then when you go over some of these areas, the areas that are, they'll highlight. Can you see what it's doing? I don't know if you can see what it's doing. Hold on, let me get some more of this on here. Kind of makes it look more 3D. But it doesn't take like very much to put on the brush at all. And it's really hard to do this so you can see. Can you tell the difference? How it's picking up just a little bit of, it just kind of makes it a little more like real, I guess, kind of, you know, highlighting, like if anybody like antique paints furniture and stuff. And I don't have my old, from when I used to paint ceramics and stuff, I don't have my old brushes. So I have to use these that I just picked up at Hobby Lobby. But it kind of makes them you know, kind of come to life a little bit. You can see a little more of the valleys and stuff, and it highlights the bits that are sticking up a little bit more. Makes sense? I hope it does. And you do it ever so lightly, that it just takes time to kind of keep going over it and over it and over it until you get the highlights all that you want. Yes. And it just makes it more real, brings it to life a little bit. And if you do it right, so you don't have that much on your brush, then you won't end up with like a big glob anywhere. And if you do end up with a big glob, you can usually... Okay, so there's a good example here. Can you see his ear, how it looks a little more 3D? And then if we take... Oh, he's wet. Well, so this one didn't turn out as well, because the dark green wasn't quite dry there. But if you can see how the highlight came out a little more, and you can see it looks like shadows. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish when I'm doing this, is just picking up on the raised areas. And I'm just going over it several times to try to get it to look more real. Okay. There you go. You can see how it really brings out the light in here. Okay. All right, I'm about done playing with that, I think. I do wish this was just a little bit lighter, because we're going to be putting some black in there, kind of like, you know, he's scowling, I guess. So we really do want more of a 3D kind of... Oh, had a little bit more on my paintbrush than I wanted to. All right, and then we'll just go down the neck a little bit. I guess, you know, I had to try to figure out if I wanted to make it look like, did I want to go for like a cartoony look, or did I want to go for kind of like a real look? Did I want to do, hi Elaine, did I want to go for, like, what was the style of painting that I wanted to go for? So that's like the first thing I like tried to decide what I wanted to do, is how I wanted the look to be overall. Yeah, it's just picking up the, if you're real light, it'll just pick up the raised bit. So I guess I want them kind of real looking, but the danger with doing that is I need to try to be able to make his eyes and stuff kind of look, you know, somewhat real, I guess. And I'm just not, I'm not good with eyes. So I am not sure. There we go. So I used a little bit lighter color. Instead of mixing that in with the darker, I just went ahead and added made it like a light lime green, and I like the effect that I'm getting much better. So we'll just kind of continue with that, and you just want to get you just really want the paint to go on the raised areas. Not all the areas, but just mostly the raised. Okay. Alright, we're about done with that. I'm about happy with my highlights. Alright. Looks much different than when we first started with just that basic one tone. So I'm liking that. I think I'm actually going to go into the eyes too, even though, I mean, we want to keep the eyes dark, but I do want them to be kind of real. So we'll try it. I guess the worst thing that can happen is I'll end up painting it over again, right? It's a nice thing with painting. If you don't like it, you can just do it over. Right? Same thing with when we do our wreaths and stuff. I can't tell you how many wreaths I've taken apart and redone because they just don't turn out. We're not perfect. Okay. So that's where we're at now. So I was thinking with his eyes, a lot of the paintings that I saw, the eyes were kind of yellow. So, and this men mannequin thing does have, like, it does have like an eye here. So I should be able to kind of, you know, figure it out. I did take this one when I put the spackle in there. I didn't clean it out good enough. So, but I think we should be able to. So the colors that I've used so far, this Craft Essentials, I can't tell you even when I got it. This is called Granny Smith, and this one was a Hauser medium green. So that's what we did, and then we just used black in his eyes. So, alright. Eyes are the hardest for sure, Mimi. I'm so nervous about the eyes. Thanks for joining us, Mimi. So the yellows that I have a few more, but I think they're even lighter, and I don't want to go too light. So, let's see. This one is Buttercup. Oh, doesn't that sound nice? School Bus Yellow and Bright Yellow. I think it may be School Bus Yellow. Let's put it on the paper towel here and see, or the plate, and see what it looks like. Okay. Alright, so we'll just put some paint on our brush here. And I'll try starting over here first. And we will just fill in the area. So his eyes obviously aren't open real wide. They look like they're kind of closed. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm going to try and fill in that area. I'm going to go over their line just a little bit to make his eyes open just a little bit more. Kind of make my own lines, I guess. So, and then we'll do the same on this side. can't wait. I think later on today or maybe tomorrow I'm going to work on making the Queen of Hearts. And I'm really excited to use those eyebrow stencils that you told me about, Amy. And whoever else told me. I think there were a couple people who told me about them. I'm really excited to try them. Heck, if I would have known about them, I might not have gotten my eyebrows microbladed. I might have just used a stencil. Well, that's not true. I do like waking up with eyebrows now. Before I didn't have eyebrows because, you know, I used to be a redhead in the day, back when I was younger. Okay, so we're going to kind of have to wait for those to dry a little bit so that we can work on the eyes more. So I think while we're waiting for the eyes, and I'll have to do like another coat, but while we're waiting for the eyes to dry, why don't we work on some scarring? We can do, let's see, well, we just want to use black, right? I don't know if that brush is small enough. And I should have brought a glass of water in here, and I did not. Did not. Let's try, alright, we'll put the black on here. And we'll get kind of a finer brush. Yay, hello. It is life-changing, isn't it? Oh my gosh. When I can wake up and have eyebrows or have expression, I mean, it is. I will say it was pretty life-changing, and I'm really glad that I did it. Congratulations on getting yours done. Okay, let's start thinking about where we're going to be putting some scarring and things like that. So I know that I want kind of like some black bits coming up here in his brow. So let's just kind of see how this works. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to go kind of with the creases that I have already in the spackle that I did, or do I just want to create my own path? And I think we might create our own path here. Oh, guys, I'm scared. I don't want to paint it all over if I gotta start over. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. Okay. Let's see. I think we want to go like this way. Okay. Oh, you like him, Asia? Hi, sis. How you doing? So I am going to come off this way. So I kind of did like a little thing over here. And I don't even pretend that I can make things the same, because I can't. I am not a true artist. So we will just see how this turns out. Hey, Amy. Hi, Elaine. Hey, Valerie. So we're just working on our Frankenstein here. and we're just putting some markings on them like you see in other, you know, pictures and stuff of Frankenstein. So we'll see how that goes. I probably will dry brush over those too. I feel like such a fraud. I am not a painter, so I just feel like I'm like, you know, I don't even know if I'm telling you the right things to do or whatever. I just do, I mean, when I do a lot of crafting and stuff, I don't know if it's, you know, the right way to do it. It's just how I worked it out in my head. So we will just see how it turns out, I guess. Okay, one more on here. Okay. What do you think? Does it look like his brow, kind of? I hope. Alright, I'm going to go back in with the yellow because I think I can do another coat now. Let's see if I can get the yellow of his eyes to turn out a little bit more. Oh, you did, Mom? Yeah, and I saw some like that too, and some, you know, they were kind of like, those were like stitches, kind of like a scar and stitches. I'm going to do some of those too, but I think that I was trying to get an eyebrow or I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was trying to get like more of an, creases in a brow here. Here I'm thinking I'm going to come down and kind of go across the mouth and like this, and then put some stitches in that as a scar. But here I was trying to get the effect of like his brow kind of a little bit more. Maybe it'll turn out a little bit more as when it dries a little bit. I'll dry brush it a little bit and see if it turns out. But speaking of scar, good idea, Mama. Speaking of scar, let's see if we can put, so I was thinking that I wanted the scar to kind of like come, I'm going to use my finger, I think, and kind of across his lip and then down like that. So let's see if we can do that. And I tell you what, these foam things, they really suck the paint. Like they suck the paint like right up. To get anything dark, you really have to put like a couple of coats on it. Okay, So I kind of wanted the scar to kind of come down like that and maybe come this far. While we're at it, let's just bring it back here a little bit. Okay. All right. How we doing, people? How we doing? All right. I think this is kind of dry, so I am going to see if I can get some dry brushing on that. And to be able to work at this at one time, you just have to like go back and forth between the dry bits and the not dry bits. Okay. I used, Mimi, thanks Lori, I used Elmer's glue, like the kids kind that you get in the, you know, like your local store and stuff for when you get kids school supplies, just the Elmer's glue, white glue, is what I used as my base. But I didn't use like a primer or anything for like a paint primer, for sure. I didn't. I probably should have, then it wouldn't have soaked up the paint so much, huh? Okay. Now you can see his furrows. Furrows? I don't know, do we call, you know, the creases in his forehead that I put in there a little bit earlier. But these brows I definitely don't want as dark as I want the stitching. Like the stitching I want really, really dark. But so I'm just trying to kind of blend a little bit more. And someone a long time ago when I used to do ceramics, she took the time and showed me what dry brushing can do for, you know, painting and stuff. And okay. All right, I need an even smaller brush for us to do the stitching across. But first I think we're going to do the stitching across his mouth. So we just want him to look like someone stitched his mouth shut. But I I want there to be a difference in the stitching in his mouth and the stitching. I want the stitching here to be smaller than the stitching on his mouth. Oh, Cara, did you have the clown in the box earlier? That was freaky. That was so scary. I don't even think I could put that up. You know, the movie It, you know, that Stephen King's movie It, that movie scared the snot out of me. When we first got married, my husband read it to me every night for like a few weeks until we got through the whole book, and that scares me. Makes me scared. Okay. Alright. I'm going to switch brushes. Yes. Was that a special order? You did a good job on that. It scared me. Totally scared me. So now we're just going to go through, and you don't want your stitches on these things to be real, you know, an insane person did them, so they're not going to be like real straight and perfect. They're just going to be kind of willy-nilly. So these I'm not going to dry brush over. I'm going to try to keep them as dark and black as possible. Pennywise, yeah. You only made that one as a specialty order? Yeah. I haven't even watched the new clown, what's the name of that movie? It. I never even watched the new It because I was so scared of the old It. So I took a lot of ideas off Pinterest, and I think we all pretty much go to Pinterest when we need some inspiration. But you never want to copy somebody like completely, you know what I mean? And a good artist and a good artisan who's doing whatever, it won't actually copy fully another person's work. So you just kind of make up your own. So I like that one going across there. And I am going to darken up his mouth just a little bit. Okay, and I think, so when he's in a wreath, a Disney Not So Scary Halloween, yeah, me too. I don't watch a lot of scary movies. Actually, my husband and I just watched this weekend, we finally watched that show that everybody was so into a couple years ago, that Bird Box movie. Have any of y'all seen that one? That's kind of scary. That's kind of, for me, it was scary. I don't know, for years, because I was a, military and law enforcement, I dealt with enough of scary real life things. So I don't like the scary movie things so much. I'm kind of a wimp. But the Bird Box movie was very interesting. Okay. Let's put some more scars on him. So when he's in, I've got some things that I think I'm going to use for his hair. I think I'm going to use, I've got some black leaves. I think I'm going to use that kind of for hair. And so I might bring, let's do one scar that kind of goes kind of straight back. Oh, I'm sure they'll, I mean, if they wanted a Pennywise, whew, they're getting one. It was awesome. And I love how you did the curls and stuff and you just made the whole thing like a clown. That was pretty cool. For those of you who might not know Kara on here, she is a wreath maker also. And she does a great job. And she made a Pennywise clown and she shared the picture with us earlier, and it was scary. Gave me the creepolas. Now anything past here will probably be covered later, but and then just in case, so things I think about are kind of like balance. So I had something kind of going like this, and I've got something going like this. I did want to kind of do something down here, but I'm thinking it might be covered up. But just in case it's not, let's do, oh, well, when someone, like his head was supposed to be like put on from something else, right? Or no? Let's just try it. We'll see how it goes. If we don't like it, we can always cover it back up. So as if he had his throat slit, or they put on his, a different head onto him. Yeah, Harry Potter. Me too. Me too. Real life is scary enough for me anymore these days. Since my TBI, I don't do scary things very well. Okay. Let's start putting some stitching on him down here, and then I think we're going to be done with the scars. Oh, Maya, you're awesome. The even scare the male person for sure. Thanks, Maya. You're awesome. Thanks, Becky. I appreciate it. Yeah, for those of you who are on, if you wouldn't mind sharing and liking my page, I sure appreciate it. Okay, y'all. I think all the stitching is done that I wanted to do. So now I got to get the white, or no, let's see, black. We need black, but we will need white here in a minute. So let's get in here and get these eyes. Let's see. So for the eyes, I'm just going to go in here with this small brush and see what we can do. It's so rough in there. I don't know if I'm going to get a nice straight line for an eye. Oops, I just put my finger in wet paint. Sorry, you guys can't see, can you? Oh, thanks, guys. Oh, thanks, Kara. All right. So we will, okay. The pupils are done, except for, we'll just put a little bit of white in there, I think. See if I got white. I should have white. Yes, white. So I'll paint the other guy real similar maybe to this one. And one of them I'll give away this weekend, or Friday. Okay. Oh, I just put my finger in wet paint again. All right. We'll give him like blown out pupils a little bit so they're not the same. So he looks demented just a little bit. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm thinking about, so what are you thinking? Do you like him? I think I like him. I think he's pretty cool. So I just wanted to kind of look and see what kind of wreath I was going to put him in. And I think I'm going to be using a lot of black leaves and things. And so he might get a little bit of this mixed in with the wreath behind him. So that's what I'm thinking. And Friday I'll put him, let's see, do I have another design for Friday? I will, see, I think on Friday, no, I don't have another design. I had a special order yesterday. No. So Friday I can do him. So I will take him or the other guy, and I'll probably paint them kind of similar. Whichever one I don't use in the wreath, and I'm going to say a wreath instead of a rail. So Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I will put him into a wreath. And then whichever one I don't use, I will give away to somebody. And the only thing that you'll have to pay for is shipping. I'll cover the box and I'll cover him and everything else. So the only thing you'll have to cover is shipping. So, best Frankenstein. Oh, really? No way. Are you just saying that to be nice to me? Are you just saying that to be nice, TK? Thanks, Virginia. Thank you. So Friday, if you'll want to join me at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then if you tell your friends and everything, and we're going to give away one of these guys. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Well, thank you guys for joining me just in the middle of the afternoon. You know, I know you guys have a lot of other things to do and things, but I thank you for stepping in and saying hi. And if you wouldn't mind liking and sharing my page. And I'm trying to get my YouTube page kind of filled up with stuff here. It's taking me a little bit. The technology kind of gets to me, but If you'll keep an eye out for my YouTube page and like and subscribe to that too, I appreciate it. All right, thanks y'all. Have a good afternoon. Take care, be safe.